Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Welcome back, everyone. Great to have you here. Always excited to be able to go into our Friday review, bringing you all of my favorites from the week, and we have a lot here today. We've got product reviews, my favorite different types of nasal sprays and when to use them, as well as Nasya-based oil. We've got a book review for you that I think you'll find really, really helpful. Just a couple hundred pages, about 150 pages that you can refer to over and over your life. Then we're also going to be bringing you some brand new research. This week, research into more microplastics in one of the most common foods that many people eat. Let's talk about that. Let's also give you some safer, healthier alternatives. And we'll also be going over, ashwagandha and what it is now being used for a lot of the aging-related issues. I will give you the exact dosage, milligrams, and what it's being used for towards the end of the show based on new science. So love being able to go over all of these things with you. Before we get to all of that, we're going to talk about all the different updates from the week because so much is always going on in our global health community. So one of the fun things that you may have seen over the past week or two on the podcast are our daily PDFs. It is absolutely amazing what my team is able to do behind the scenes, but they're putting up daily videos on YouTube, right over at Stephen Cabral, on YouTube, but they're also now on our podcast pages. So for example, today is 1883 is our episode number. So if you go to stephencabral.com/1883, you'll be able to get all the links from today's show. But what my team is also doing every single day, Monday through Friday, putting up daily podcast PDFs. It's going to give you the intro to the show, the top 3 takeaways that I want you to know from this show. So the shows are about 20 minutes long. Now, over those 20 minutes, we talk about a lot, but here's 3 big takeaways to take away every single day. And then also, we're going to give you the links right there on that PDF. So it's really shareable with friends and family too, if you'd like. It's totally, of course, up to you, but really the information is for you. That's why we do it. 3 big takeaways so that you know the biggest nuggets to take away from the show. And then also, of course, easy access to any links from all the different products, whether it be the nasal sprays that I recommend or the books, all that'll be there as well. So hopefully you enjoy it. And again, let us know how we can make it better for you. That's the truth, is that this is about our community. The PDFs are for you. And I want to say, hey, can we make them better in any way? We'd be happy to do that. And so just let us know. Okay, Functional Medicine Detox. Our quarterly detox begins Monday. I hope that you're joining us. Today is April 2nd. So I want to make sure that you know that as a community, we join together every, January, beginning of April, beginning of July or end of June, and then September every year. We go with the Ayurvedic cycle of detoxification. Now, you can do a detox any week of the year that you would like. However, if you want to join thousands of other people, I can't recommend enough starting next week or the week after, whatever fits your schedule. We will be giving you daily support, brand new emails, daily videos, completely free over at cabralsupportgroup.com. So if you have not already joined cabralsupportgroup.com, join the other 11,000 people strong in there from all over the world that we provide free tips to. So support each other in there. That's what it's all about, really positive community. Don't be that person. You can always bring all the issues you have, but let's make sure we support each other. Let's not take each other down. That's not what life should be about. All right, so that's cabralsupportgroup.com, and you can grab your detox if you haven't already at equa.life/detox. All right, the last item I wanted to bring you, and this is really important, is that our CBD, and I'm so happy about this, is finally back. I talked about it last Friday, and it's just been it's been in a whirlwind last 2 weeks of being able to re-debut this product. So I was a little nervous. I was a little worried because, we've been out of it for 2 years, not because we wanted to, but simply we weren't allowed to be in this field. Let's just put it at that. I don't want to get myself or my company in trouble, but we were promoting the benefits, not of marijuana, not of cannabis, not of any psychoactive based high. I'm not against that, but that's not what we were promoting. We were promoting the medical benefits, the health benefits of CBD. And again, I can't, it's as frustrating as it is. The show always has to go on. For 2 years, we weren't allowed to bring it to you. But I can assure you, this is the very best of cannabinoids out there. These are functional medicine-based formulas, third-party testing, small organic farming procedures, no artificial dyes, no GMOs, no pesticides, literally the cleanest CBD ever created. And you can find that over at equilibriumcbd.com. So if you haven't already checked it out, check it out, equilibriumcbd.com. I can assure you that, and we guarantee it, that it is the cleanest CBD out there and more efficacious. So if you've tried CBD before, didn't get the results you were looking for, or you're looking to upgrade, I can't recommend it enough. And that's over at equilibriumcbd.com. All right. Last, but certainly not least, before we get to our recap and our product reviews for the week, we are giving away yet again another debut. So one of my favorite things to do, my team knows this, is that if we create a new product, if we're able to, I try to give it away to you. I really do. Like, that's one of the, I've always, so a lot of people don't get this. I've always wanted to be in the position that I'm in right now. I've always wanted to be able to share my passion, my love for functional medicine, Ayurvedic health, integrative health with everyone. And one of the ways that I got well was through good functional medicine-based foods, functional medicine formulas, good nutritional supplements, all those things. Now, it doesn't replace whole healthy food. It doesn't replace a healthy lifestyle. It's part of the de-stress protocol, but it's pretty amazing. So this is more of an in-between food. All right, these are a brand new chocolate superfood, or they're called chocolate decadence superfood bars. So it is dark chocolate mixed with superfoods. So you don't just get the flavonoids, the flavonols from chocolate. You actually get all the other benefits from the antioxidant properties of things like apple or raspberry. So it basically tastes like chocolate with a hint of raspberry in there. They're absolutely delicious. They're a soft chocolate bar and medium soft. And it's just about, let's say 5 bites or 2 of my bites, so it's the perfect quantity of chocolate as well, so that you can have a guilt-free treat and enjoy yourself with just this small sample of this chocolate-based bar. So we purposely did them that way. We packaged them to just be around 4 to 6 bites or so from that bar. Obviously, really low calorie, all of those, as just a nice, enjoyable treat. But it has the health benefits behind it, of course. So now you're getting all of those antioxidants and bioflavonoids to help with oxidative stress in the body. So really enjoyable, something fun that I wanted to do for a while now, but I wanted to make it a superfood bar, not just a good, healthy chocolate bar. And so you can check this out over at equa.life. So going on right now, equi.life. Head over there for all of the offer-based details, and it is absolutely free, a full box free with all qualifying orders. So check that out. All right. Podcast over the past week. Hopefully you were with us. Hopefully you joined us. Hopefully you shared the shows with, again, other people that you believed that they could serve. First and foremost, we went over one of the biggest revelations I've ever had in my life. Beyond health, okay, I began to really study in-depth first principles thinking about a decade ago. And it was a game changer. It really changed my life. Being able to ask why until there were no more whys left to ask. And I go through how to use first principle thinking in your own life for your health, relationships, body transformation, spirituality, career, finances, etc. Love being able to share first principle thinkings with other people. All right, so that was episode 1879. 1880 was 5 reasons. Let's see, 5 more reasons you may want not you may not want to skip breakfast. Check out that show. That was a really fun one on intermittent fasting. Again, you know I love intermittent fasting. Just something to think about. Somebody has to play devil's advocate. Not in a negative way, not putting anyone down, not ignoring the science, actually using the other side of the science. Because remember, for every study you can find, there's another study probably saying something different. So I just try to show you both sides of it and then let you make the most educated decision for yourself and for your family. All right, definitely check out though episode 1881. That was the monk fast. If you've never heard about monk fasting before, you want to check this out. Again, I've been doing it 3 out of 4 Mondays every single month. It's different than a 24-hour fast. It is a little bit more to it, and I share that with you on episode 1881. And then yesterday, we got to bring back a training Thursday. Always fun for me to get to talk about exercise, go back to my roots from where it all started back in the day. And what I do is I go back and I actually try to debunk one of the biggest myths out there, and that does weightlifting make you bulky, especially for a lot of the women that I used to train. Always would ask that question. Again, not across the board, of course. We're not making total generalizations, but I got that question a lot, and so does many other male and female personal trainers out there. So definitely check that out. I try to take you through the science of what's true and what's not true, and actually give you both sides of that as well. All right. That is that for the start to the show. I want to go into some product reviews with you right now. So there are a lot of people dealing with mold overgrowth right now. There are a lot of people dealing with seasonal allergies. There are a lot of people dealing with congestion, deviated septums, candida overgrowth, fungal overgrowth in these sinus-based cavities. It is not uncommon. You have to understand is that yeast, mold, fungus, these things are microns in size. So think about this. Your human hair, okay? So think about how small a human hair is. You can see it, right? But think about 100 times smaller than a human hair, the thickness of a human hair. That is why you don't always see the mold you breathe in or any type of fungal overgrowth, those types of things. You can inhale those spores right into your nasal passages. Now, I am someone with a previous health history of debilitating gut issues, mold, candida overgrowth. I mean, really bad. One of the things that I found is even when I healed this gut, I still had recurring sinus infections and I still had a lot of congestion in these nasal cavities. So yes, I did my food sensitivity test and I removed my main sensitivities and that helped tremendously, especially dairy in all forms. But one other thing that I did, I started using nasal sprays every day. Now you have to be careful with this. You don't want to dry out your nasal passages. So I'm going to give you 2 ways to do this. So I've used many products. So, I mean, I am a big, I'm a big researcher into nutritional supplements and I love them. And there's a lot of bio-individuality with this, but I got the biggest benefits from using a product called Nutribiotic Nasal Spray. All right. It contains grapefruit seed extract and, it's basically citricidal, which is a form of grapefruit seed extract, and just essentially water. Now, this has been clinically proven to kill fungus, kill mold, kill bacteria. So I use that product every day for about 6 weeks, twice a day. So I inhaled 2 to 3 pumps on one side, 2 to 3 pumps on the other, tilted my head forward, sniffed in a couple times, and then just allowed all of that to get up in the sinus cavities. And then 5 minutes later, I would blow my nose. So that's what I did. Now, again, I think it was tremendously helpful in just killing and eradicating all the different overgrowths of my nasal passages. Again, passages. This is not a treatment protocol, right? I'm not treating any disease here, just offering some advice and as to what I did. And what I would say too is that a lot of people with biofilms and all sorts of overgrowth in the nasal passages have often and do get great relief as well with using nasal spray colloidal silver. So I recommend a nanoparticle colloidal silver, and you can also use that. You can even alternate if you wanted to, Nutribiotic in the morning, colloidal silver at night if you chose to. Just don't do it right before bed because you might get a little post-nasal drip, which is obviously not good for your sleeping. So you can do it before dinner if you chose to, and that would be plenty of time. Okay. So those are two great solutions. I still use them. And how do I use them? So I use them when I get off a plane. So I use them at that point because I want to kill whatever I breathed in on a plane or travel. And then I also do it for like the next day. So I'll probably get like 3 or 4 different times that I'll use that on plane flights. Again, I haven't flown in a long time, but I'll probably get back to doing some of that when things begin to open back up. And the other thing is people are always asking about, can I use saline solution? Well, I don't like people to become reliant on using saline nasal spray, although it can help with healthy levels of inflammation in the nasal passages. However, there are some products that are okay. And again, I don't think that you should do this forever, but you could use it for a certain period of time. And there are some saline sprays. And some even contain xylitol, which can be quite helpful for the nasal passages as well, the nasal flora. But you could also just use a neti pot. And when you're in the shower in the morning, you could just add a little packet of the saline solution or just a little sea salt. Honestly, just a pinch of sea salt to make sure that it does not burn your nasal passages because, believe it or not, straight water is not the correct pH and it will burn your nasal passages. So you want to add a little bit of sea salt to that, and then you can just flush your sinuses that way. Love doing that, and I do that, again, when I travel as well. So I do neti pot first, and then I use the Nutribiotic nasal spray. That's what I choose to do. Okay, now what if your nasal passages start to get dry, especially during the winter with a lot of heat on the house? That's when you use your nausea oil. You can just use the oil. There shouldn't be oil nasal sprays because it could be then aspirated into the lungs, and we don't want that because then that could, I've spoken about this on previous shows, could actually cause a form of pneumonia that's actually quite dangerous. So what do? Well, you just get a little dropper of nausea oil, and you can put a couple drops in your nasal passages, or just a little nausea oil on the tip of your finger, and actually massage it into the inside of the passage of your nose. And what that does is it lubricates the nasal passages. And believe it or not, you can do that before a flight, which I like to do because it will catch more of the particles that come into your nose because it's going to be a little bit more oily and sticky. So there's a lot of great things that you can do. And again, people overlook the sinus cavities and how important it really is. So wanted to bring you that. Of course, we'll link everything up. Can we link this up today? Did I talk about anything disease-wise? I don't know. If we can, we're going to link it up. If the FDA allows us to, although we're not treating anything, I will see if we can link it up. Head on over to stevencabral.com/1883. And again, if we can link those up, we will do so. All right, on to the book review. So many people have asked, they listened to, let's see where it was, last week's COVID tongue, COVID toes, loss of smell, loss of taste, why all of that is. And a lot of people didn't know, who are newer to the community, that I've done a whole podcast on nail diagnosis, tongue diagnosis. I mean, we've done a lot of shows, lip diagnosis. And so you can definitely check those out back on episode 1873. But people have asked for books, like, hey, what's a book? Especially our integrative health practitioners, like, what's a book I can have? And I've recommended the Ayurvedic textbooks before, which is how I learned all of these things. Again, I don't make them up. I learned them from brilliant practitioners over the last thousands of years, right, from Ayurveda. But it's complicated, right? Because that's thousands of pages of textbook, and you're not going to keep one of those lying around. So I searched, and I found this fun little book called The Skin, Tongue, and Nails Speak Book, Observational Signs of Nutritional Deficiencies by Donna Burker-Wild. So here it is. If you're watching on video, you can obviously see me holding it up. And it's 120 pages, 150 pages, but it's larger font as well. And although, of course, these are illustrations, it really gives you a good sign of, hey, that's a white-coated tongue. And then some of the nails, which is kind of nice here, like look at this, yellow nail syndrome. I don't know if I'd call it a syndrome, but what do yellow nails mean? And they'll start to go into all the different reasons for that. So it's a fun book. It's a good book. Remember, it's not diagnostic, but this is good correlation. I've read it over, and for sure, like look at that, geographic tongue. We were just talking about that on episode 1873. So good book, easy to keep around the house, approachable for anybody, whether you have a medical background, health background, you're an IHP or not. It's a nice book, fun book. So again, like to give a shout out to any books that I find really great for our community, and we'll add this to the list. So that'll definitely be linked up today. at 1883. Now, let's go over our research of the week. Well, the research for the week is disturbing. I don't like to keep reading these things, but you need to be in the know and informed. Go back and check out this show. Let me add this for you. It's called, 1853 is the number. The number one hidden microtoxin you're exposed to. And it's pretty unbelievable. On that show, I talk about microplastics. I'm not going to go into all the details on this show here today, but these microplastics are now showing up actually in shellfish. Let me read you it exactly. Beware of microplastics in shellfish. This is post-grad work at Hull York Medical School in York in the UK. And a leader, and this was actually, it was published in Environmental Health Perspective. So this is what it says. Mussels, oysters, and scallops have the highest level of pollutants. Okay, let me just repeat that again. Mussels, oysters, and scallops have the highest levels of pollutants. Through waste management, these plastic particles less than 5 millimeters in diameter make their way into the animal's tissues, which means it can't be removed. It's actually inside of the shellfish. The effects on the human body aren't fully known, but in animal research, exposure to microplastics has been linked to infertility, inflammation, and cancer. I mean, it's pretty unbelievable, isn't it? That all of these plastics being used and broken down and really getting into our ocean is quite disturbing. So what I would say is, again, you have to be careful where you're getting your shellfish and other foods from. And obviously, you can only simply do your best. But since I always say you can't worry about every detail in the environment, you do your best to remove it. It's also why you have to be doing your daily detox-based factors, but also your quarterly detoxes too. I don't see any other way around it. I wish it wasn't the case, but it certainly is. And if it was a couple thousand years ago, it's even more so today. All right, one more research coming to you. This one is on ashwagandha. So it's one of our favorite Ayurvedic-based herbs, been used for anti-aging, for wellness, for all sorts of different reasons. Well, this one is based on dementia-based issues. I'm going to read it to you right now. So, referred to as Indian ginseng, the specific properties can be helpful for dementia. Chemical changes in the brain caused by chronic stress reduce brain plasticity. This, in turn, can kickstart an irreversible cascade of neuronal death, a characteristic of many brain diseases, including dementia. Ashwagandha may reduce neuronal death and beta amyloid buildup, which, by the way, is also implicated in Alzheimer's. You can go back and check out my previous shows on Alzheimer's as well for all the different cofactors. There are actually 14 and growing. Ashwagandha leaves are thought to enhance cognitive performance. Here's the evidence. One study, subjects either took 300 milligrams of ashwagandha twice daily or a placebo for 8 weeks. At the end of the study, those in the ashwagandha group showed greater improvements in both immediate and general memory, as well as improved executive function, attention, and information processing speed. Use 300 milligrams twice daily with meals. And I think that's pretty appropriate. 600 milligrams a day of ashwagandha, absolutely fantastic. It's something that we've been recommending for many, many years. And of course, it comes from Ayurvedic-based research. I do recommend a product like Adrenal Soothe, which contains not only ashwagandha, but phosphatidylserine, which even better lowers levels of cortisol, implicated in brain-based issues, L-theanine, and other great nutrients as well. So great synergies. So again, we're not talking about curing any disease, any treatment protocols for disease, but of course, we're looking at what are the underlying root causes of these dis-eases of the body in the first place, and one of them are higher levels of cortisol, especially at night. So we typically have people take their Adrenal Soothe at lunch or mid-afternoon, and then at dinner or after dinner. Great way to use it, and again, feel free to use whatever you feel is most appropriate for you. That is it for today. We will be back, of course, tomorrow with our Cabral host calls. Hopefully you're tuning in each and every weekend for our community's questions, where I answer at least a half a dozen questions every Saturday and every Sunday. Take care, everyone. Have an amazing weekend. Really appreciate the support. And of course, as always, if this show is helpful, please do feel free to share it with anyone else you believe it could serve. Before you go, I have to share with you a brand new debut, something that I've been working on for the last 8 months. You know that it takes a lot of work to create new formulations and new products because of our high commitment to excellence in the industry. Simply put, we want to make sure that we third-party test all of our ingredients, and they're always bringing you the very best of the best. This is no different, and this has been something that has been requested for quite some time, and that is there something that my kids and I can eat that is a guilt-free, healthy treat? So with that in mind, we literally went and created a dark chocolate superfood bar. So with this, you are not only getting all of the benefits of dark chocolate, of organic dark chocolate, of course, but you're also getting these superfood benefits. That means all of the bioflavonoids or the flavonols from raspberry, cherry, and apple. And if I had to give you a specific flavor, it tastes like a cherry raspberry chocolate bar. It is absolutely delicious. I have been tasting these along with my wife for about the last 6 months since they've been in production. We've been trying out different flavor batches, and I can tell you this, they are absolutely delicious. And one of the best parts is that they are a guilt-free treat. These are all organic, and one of the great things about it is that they are tested for pesticides, they are tested for molds, they are tested for other issues that a lot of other bars might contain. We make sure that all of our bars are third-party tested for that. The other nice thing is that they are only 90 calories. So instead of giving you a big chocolate bar, which we all know can be taken down in one sitting, we wanted to prepackage these. So these are just the perfect amount for a guilt-free treat. Whether you're enjoying it after a workout or whether you're enjoying it after dinner, it's 90 calories. And when we look at that, we can say, if you were even just to split that, if you chose to, with a partner, your spouse, whoever you're enjoying a dinner with, you're taking it down to 45 calories. So in my opinion, this is one of the best ways, really one of the best ways to enjoy your dark chocolate mixed with superfoods and feel good about it. So check it out right now over at equi.life. That's EQUI.LIFE. I'm super excited about this. For one, my wife loves them, and I love to be able to create products that my wife will use as well. My kids love them, of course, because they're chocolate. And of course, I enjoy them just the same. Now, I always, whenever possible, it's not always possible, but whenever possible, I love to be able to get these to you free. And that's exactly what we're doing. Limited time offer and limited number of boxes. We are literally giving these away, a free box over $149. So any qualifying purchase over at equi.life, over $149, we're actually going to ship you a full box free. So head on over, enjoy these new dark chocolate superfood bars, all organic, of course, and tested for mold as well as pesticides. Head on over to equi.life to get your free box while supplies last.